Hi, I'm Will Howard, and we're doing a story on the crabbing industry. Now, we've all heard all the news reports about how we have a shortage of people picking crabs. There's no machine that's very successfully picked a crab. But we wanted to find not people that came here from other countries. We wanted to find the old generation crab pickers. And we're here in Hacks Neck, Virginia, and we're at a crab picking facility, and the owners have just arrived by boat. Well, what a great way to come to work. This is Galen.
Yeah. Yes.
And Clinton. And Frankie. And you are all co-owners here?
Correct.
And what's the name of this facility?
This is Nandua Seafood, LLC.
Nandua. Now, what is that name from?
That's an Indian name, and it's the actual name of the big creek that runs into the Chesapeake Bay right just behind us here, about 100 yards.
You're retired, right?
Yes, both of us are. And
retired from what industry?
I was in thoroughbred horse racing. I was a racing executive in Maryland, and then New York, and then Hong Kong. And I've done a little bit of everything. But
and how about Galen?
I've always worked in Shaker museums in New England.
Oh, so now you have a crab picking house.
Yeah.
We'll get to Frankie in a minute. So why did you want to get in the crab picking business?
Well, I'm not real sure. I guess I need to see a mental therapist, supposedly, to enter something in a dying industry, allegedly dying industry. But about 5 years ago, be 5 years ago this Thanksgiving, I think, Frankie and here and Obadiah came to the house, and I could see they were very distraught and upset, and I thought, oh, what's going wrong now? And they said the previous owner, Jack Hudson, had sold the place to a developer, and everybody was out of a job. And I said, well, that's not good. And I knew this crab meat was very well liked. It was one of the best on the shore at the time. And so Frankie and Galen and I put our heads together, and I went out and met the previous owner. Make a long story short, we bought the equipment that they had, the steamer, the tables, and all the... We created our own name, the Nandua Seafood LLC, and then I went to the owners, the developers who'd bought the place, and worked out a lease agreement. And at first it was an annual lease agreement, and now unfortunately we're just on a month-to-month lease agreement. But we've been very fortunate to run it for the last, be 5 years this fall, and we're just tickled to death. And you know, through Frankie's hard work, and he's a waterman himself, he crabs, he has pound net, does everything. He knows all these people, so he's given us some tremendous inroads, and we've actually stepped the business up where it's doing 2 or 3 times what it was when the previous owner had it. We could sell twice as much meat, but as you know, more isn't better. And right now, this is the last picking house on the eastern shore of Virginia.
Wow.
So I think there's some on the western shore, and I know there's a few in Maryland that are using foreign help, but this is the last one that's using local area help. Hand-picked crab meat.
Frankie, tell us a little about your background.
Well, I work on the water, that's one thing. And I fish trap, crab pot, and most anything on the water I do. Other than, peeler pot, yeah. And guess that's about all I do, and try to run this halfway, I guess.
So where are the crabs where do the crabs come from?
Just Seaside in Chesapeake Bay. We get them both sides. And what else?
So how many generations have you lived here?
My grandfather, my father, and myself. 3.
Your great-grandfather.
Great-grandfather, yeah.
The history of Hacks Neck has his great-grandfather jumping out of a building that's still standing up here and getting away from the revenuers because he was running the blockade, the British blockade across the bay to bring sugar and stuff over here.
That's pretty cool.
And so we are he's a Hacks Necker because he's got 4 generations here. we're come-hereans. We don't have 3 generations here in the same residence, and you're come-herean.
Well, I'll bet that the local people here say, we're glad you're hearing.
That's a very
That's
gratifying thing, and I think that to just conclude with why we're doing it, during the summertime, this business, this crab house, puts between $30,000 and $50,000 a month back into Accomack County, the second poorest county in the state of Virginia. And by that I mean we give a market for the crabs that these crabbers can't sell elsewhere. To the big restaurants and the great big huge crabs. So we give them a market. The pickers have a wage that never leaves here. The utilities that we do, the only money that leaves here is the rent we pay to a Maryland real estate firm. And it's a wonderful feeling. We buy crabs, we have to be down here, and we buy crabs on Saturday when the crabbers go out. And then Sunday we'll cook Saturday's crabs so they're ready to pick Monday morning. And we also, Frankie sells bait. He doesn't sell bait Saturday, so he takes his mother out to dinner Saturday. But on Sunday, he has to work because he's selling bait for the crabbers going out Monday. They don't buy any bait Saturday for their pots because they don't fish their pots Sundays. By law, they're not allowed to, but Monday they can, so they'll come to his house and buy their bait for their crab pots on Sunday. So it's a 7-day-a-week job, and you're down here constantly checking the temperature on the coolers. If you do have any crab meat left over, you've got to make sure it's iced down properly, as you saw Obadiah doing. So somebody's got to do that. Sanitize on Sunday so it's ready to go 5 o'clock Monday morning.
Well, let's go inside. We're with Obadiah Sample, who is the plant manager here. And how long have you been doing this?
52 years.
52 years.
52 years.
And this is your full-time job? You've been doing it for 52 years?
Full-time job.
Okay. Are you a native here?
Yes, I am.
How many generations?
Let's see. I'm the second.
Second generation. Okay, great, super. Well, tell me what you're doing here.
I'm weighing up the meat now.
Weighing up the meat?
Weighing up the meat now.
Okay. So, this looks like claw meat. Is this
claw meat. That's right, claw meat.
Now, claw has got the most flavor, right?
Well, yes, I would say it's what I like. A lot of them rather have the special. Some take a special and claw mixed together, you know. So depending on that.
What's your biggest seller here?
Our biggest seller is the jumbo lump.
Jumbo lump?
Mm-hmm. Jumbo lump's the biggest seller.
Oh, that's what I like the best. What's your favorite crab dish? Crab cake? Or?
Crab cake.
Crab cake.
Yes, crab cake.
And how many ladies you got working here, and where are they all from?
All from home. That's our home people. Yes, all from home. And 15. We got 15 ladies today.
15 ladies today. And this is how you keep count of their per pound?
That's right. Keep count. That's how we keep count.
Looks like number 27 is in the lead.
Right.
We'll have to talk to her. This is 27 right here. 26. 20. Oh. 26. Oh, she's got 26, but she's number 27.
Right. 26.
26 pounds. She's.
Her number's 26 here.
26 there. Okay, and how many? Okay, but she's got what? That's 16 pounds she's done today.
Right. And the lady Carson right there.
Okay, we're gonna have to talk to her.
Oh, keep on loving by faith. Keep on loving. Keep on loving by faith. You know he said he won't deny you. He's walking right beside me. Keep on walking by faith. Keep on working. Keep on working by faith. Keep on working. Keep on working by faith. You know he said he won't deny me. He's walking right beside me. Keep on working by faith.
I am on the battlefield for my Lord. I know that I am on the battlefield for my Lord. 'Cause I promised him that I would serve him till I die. For I am on the battlefield for my Lord.
Thank you very much. You are certainly winning the battle with these crabs, too. Are you number 26? Are you the fastest one here?
No. I'm not the fastest. I'm not the fastest. Yeah, I am 26. My number's 26.
You're in the lead right now with 16 pounds. I probably slowed you down a couple pounds.
That's all right.
And do you have family working with you here today?
All of us can. Obi, that's my cousin. Maren is my cousin. And I guess I got a few more around here that's a little bit related, but we all kin.
How about you tell me, what's your favorite crab dish?
The fingers.
The fingers. Yeah, there's very good meat. It is good.
It's all good. It's all good.
Well, but you don't clean the fingers out, so.
That's the fingers.
Oh, okay, the crab claws. Oh, okay, the pinchers.
Oh, you call them the pinchers?
I call them crab claws.
We call them the fingers.
The fingers, okay. Yeah, they are very flavorful.
Obi will save you something today, fingers.
Would be good. You call this the claw or the finger?
Claw finger.
Claw finger. Okay, that's the correct name. And what's your technique?
I don't have one. I just crack it. If it come out right, I'll use it as a finger. If it don't, I'll put it in one of the containers.
Okay. So it's either a finger or it's going to go into the claw meat. Friends or friends? Where are you from?
Waterman, Virginia.
Watchprig?
Yes.
And how many years have you been doing this?
Not too long, about 3.
Okay.
I'm from here.
From here?
Yeah,
And how many years have you been doing this?
quite a long time.
And what's your favorite crab dish?
I just love to pick them.
This is Marion Sample. This is Obadiah's wife, and she's offered to show us the fastest and best way to pick a crab. Is that true?
I don't know about the fastest. I doubt that. But
And here we're gonna start.
okay, we break the claws first.
Okay.
Then we remove the back.
Okay.
We cut this in here. I don't know the name of all of this little stuff, but I do know we call this the dead man. So we scrape that.
Okay.
We scrape that. We pull this piece out, and then we can cut across here. And they don't want to act right. And this is where we get the lump from, or we get that from here.
Yes.
And then this goes into the special. And we cut the second time, same way. So a lot of times the lumps break up, and like this one just did. See, so there's no lump there. It broke up. So we'll try another one. And most of the time we can tell when the lump is going to come out, and this one didn't.
Yeah, look at that.
No, that didn't come out too good. Yeah, these are the nasty right now. We had some pretty clean ones earlier today. I'm sorry you didn't get here earlier. At least if it was so.
What time do you start to work here?
They get in here early. I don't get in till late because I have a grandson that I need to get on the school bus.
But you tell me, you get in at what time?
6.
What time do you have to get up in the morning and be in here by 6?
4:30.
4:30. Wow. And you do this, what, 5 days a week?
Yeah, but we usually out here by 2, and this week we was out by 12:30.
Out by 12:30. What's been the record number that you've done in one day? How many pounds?
Well, it was 61, but I worked clean up until 7:30 at night.
61 pounds. But that was a 13-hour day? Wow.
In between, you see, we went back. It was a 3 o'clock shift. You know, we had a day shift and
A night shift? Does your singing, does that help time go by quicker?
Sometimes.
It does. Well, I'm not going to slow you down.
72 pounds one day.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, do not try this at home. This is actually slow motion.
That's what it is.
It's slow motion.
That's right. Again, isn't it nice enough?
That is nice. That is nice.
Although this one is full now.
That is really
So this is the last crab house on Eastern Shore right now.
Wow, you all really are part of history.
So picking crab house is mostly like in generation. Aunt, mother, sister, boys came up working in crab house.
Who taught you?
Who taught me? My mother taught me. Yeah, she taught me how. But she would say that the first time she taught it, when she was a little girl, she used to crack claws. And now she's picking crabs.
How old were you when you started cracking claws?
8 years old.
Oh my God.
Yeah, they're credited by the pound. They're paid by the pound.
By the pound.
Not by the hour or anything, so it's what they produce is what they get paid. And it's been done that way since, I can remember at Deal Island when there was a half a dozen picking houses. Little boy, I'd go in there and look up like that in the 40s, and there'd be chalk marks up there. And the other one would have the crabbers, and that was what they got. And then at the end of the week, they get paid on what they produce.
Yeah.
And, that way, it's an equitable payment system. If I'm better than Galen is, then I'm going to make more money, but if both of us are sitting there for 2 hours and get paid by the hour, it's not very fair to me. And some of our better pickers are picking 20, 25 pounds a day.
Obadiah is the quality control, and
oh yeah,
he's very good at that. The quality of this crab meat is very high. There's very seldom a piece of shell in it.
He goes through all the special crab meat. The lump, you don't have so much trouble with the shell, but he goes through all the special. After they've picked it and put it in the can, he repacks it into pound containers, and he goes through every pound of it, and he knows when he picks it up off this picker's table or that picker, and if they're not up to his quality, he tells them, and if they're not up to it a second time, they're gone.
You know, some of these pickers don't drive, and Obadiah goes and picks them up.
4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
And the two girls that you talked to, the one older woman at the back of the room from Cape Charles, there's four or five of them that come from Cape Charles every single day. Now, that's an hour drive. We give them some gas money, but that's an hour's drive, and they've been coming up here since the last picking house in Cape Charles shut, I don't know, 10 or 15 years ago. The pickers you saw today, the crabbers don't have a market for the female crabs at the restaurants and stuff, and it gives them a market for them. And
it enables a way of life. I mean, their way of life requires a complete circle. It's not like working at Walmart where you come, you work, you go home. It's not so much part of the circle as it is for these people. So there's always a lot of conversation. There's people come and go from here all day. Well, it's been wonderful for us. We've gotten as much as we've given, and you know, we were just here. It was a sort of an accident of circumstances, really. And we also had the time to do it.
Yeah, that was the other thing.
That's really what it's taking.
Although it's taken a bit more time than I anticipated.
This entire property sits on a beautiful point of land overlooking the water. The crabbers here deliver their crabs to the dock here, and then they're cooked in the facility you see right immediately behind me. But there's a structure here that I'd like to hear more about. Now, Rose, how long have you been here?
Ever since 32.
Since 1932? Wow, gee whiz. You girls are going to tell me the story about this building here.
Yes, this is the ghost house of Hack's Neck, and the story still lingers around this house. The story started years ago when the house was owned by the Captain John McLaren, and his family lived here, and he had a skipjack, and he would go out in the bay and oyster and come back, and they had a happy life until one day the captain of the skipjack, which was called the Baysider, didn't come back. And he had a wife, Margaret, and a daughter, Rebecca.
Right. And a son-in-law.
Yeah.
Who was with him at the time that the skipjack did not come back.
That's right. That's right.
And as time went on, the mother passed away. The daughter was still here, and the day that her husband didn't come back, she went up to her room and stayed there until she died. And after that, a few years, everybody would come down here to see her looking out the window after her death.
Yeah, and that's where the story came from, is that people would drive down here, this is a dead end, and they would glance up and they would see Rebecca in the window waiting for the skipjack to come back. It's a wonderful story.
It is a wonderful story. We're going to wait no more, though. We're going to beat it out of here.
All right.
This is Will Howard signing out.
We go last days to sing God's praise and